Well, we're now joined by the head coach of the Seton Hall Pirates, Kevin Willard. Coach, when you think about when you took over at the helm 2010-11 to where this program is now, how have you made the standard for this Seton Hall program to get back to NCAA tournaments year after year?
Well, I think the biggest thing, Johnny, was just kind of, staying the course. Really keeping our head down, grinding out every day, getting good kids who want to be part of something. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've realized is that, everyone that's come through our program has had a big impact on us no matter what. And, it eventually led to a class that stuck together, that's really done some great things and got this program in a great direction.
Last week, your big man, Angel Delgado, told me, we got to stretch a little bit more now. We got to run around a little bit more before practice to keep those legs fresh because your guys are old, but they got to stay fresh. What about this senior class? What characteristic comes to mind when you think of them?
Toughness. Every time I think about these four and really five guys, if you add Mike Nezzi in there, is how tough they've played and how tough they play night in, night out. Even in practice, everything is, physical. Everything is about toughness with them. And it's not like a macho thing, it's just the way they play. They play an old school type of city game. And I think that's what's led to a lot of success for them is that they play to who they are.
How much does that fit the Big East?
Well, I think it's kind of what the Big East is all about. It's kind of what, with the reconfiguration, kind of what the league went back to. It's kind of city schools, tough, hard-nosed kids. I think we have a great mix in the league of, you look at some of the schools out west, Creighton, Marquette really like to play up and down. Then you got some city schools like DePaul, obviously Seton Hall, St. John's that, are tough, old school type Big East schools. So it's a great mix.
When you think about your time at Seton Hall, in the last 2 seasons, 46 wins. But up until that point, you
I only had about 12.
How did the script flip? Other than kids, was there something that you and your staff would try to stress to each other?
No, again, I think anytime you take over a program, and again, I took over this program, I think I was only 34 years old. You have visions of grandeur of what you're going to do, and then reality kind of hits you, and then you got to, I think the biggest thing that I always did was, I wasn't stubborn. I wasn't going to say, okay, well, this is the only way that we can do it here at Seton Hall. I really realized that, you constantly kind of have to stick with what your culture wants to be, what your vision wants to be, but you can't be stubborn and say, okay, I'm not going to shift strategies. And I think the biggest thing is that we constantly said, okay, we're going on a good path, but we have to shift this, we have to shift that, we have to shift the way we play, we have to shift where we recruit. And I think that was something that was vital to us getting our success.
The way you've played has given you that success. How much does the depth you add this year make a difference in what you can do?
Yeah, I think the freshman class has brought a lot of energy back to this older group. They've kind of pushed them a little bit. I think this older group really enjoys having I think they remind them what they were like 4 years ago when they came in college, energetic, stupid cocky, thinking they have all the answers and realizing that they don't. But, they've given us Miles Kale, top 50 player, Sandro, top 100, Jordan Walker, top 100, guys who are extremely talented, guys who are going to push these old guys to get better. And I think the old guys are enjoying it and teaching the young guys to get better.
Your non-conference schedule is absolutely stacked, Coach. What went into constructing that, and what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I went on vacation for 1 week.
Where'd you head?
With the family. Went to Turks and Caicos, had a great time, was sitting on the beach, watching the waves, and then when I got home, I saw my non-conference schedule. So it was something that happened when I was on vacation, so it was not good timing. But seriously, it's just kind of, we wanted to kind of test ourselves this year. We have the opportunity to play in the Under Armour Classic again, which we didn't think we were going to play in. Got a great opponent, Texas Tech. We knew the preseason NIT would be a great challenge for us. Rhode Island, top 25 program, and then Virginia or Vanderbilt next. I mean, either way, you're getting a great opponent. The opportunity to play Louisville in a home and home was a great opportunity, a top 10 program. Then obviously we play Rutgers every year, and Steve has done an unbelievable job rebuilding that program. Playing at the rack is unbelievably hard. So our local schools, FDU, Monmouth, St. Peter's, all top of their league. Great coaches. No one does a better job than John Dunn at St. Peter's. So it was one of those, when we looked at it, we had an older group. We had some good new-coming guys. I wanted to test the older group, but I also wanted to get the new guys ready for the Big East.
Angel Delgado says that you don't call fouls on him in practice, that when he goes up inside. You don't call fouls against him, rather. Sometimes he gets hacked, Coach.
No, again, I think the big guy thinks he gets fouled every time, and he speaks Spanish a lot when he thinks he gets fouled, and luckily none of us speak Spanish, so we just don't call anything.
Have you learned any Spanish?
Sí. ¿Cómo está, mi amigo?
Obviously,
you don't know any Spanish.
Not a word. I took French in high school. I wasn't a good language student, Coach.
Mi amo.
¿Cómo te llama? Llamo.
There you go. All right, you're pretty good. You got one word down. I got a little stuff. I can hang a little bit. I can go in there and order a cerveza.
Yeah, Dos Equis.
That's about it.
Yeah. Right. Your point guard, Kadeem Carrington. People continue to ask, Coach, can he do it? But he has taken over in that role from time to time. How has he evolved in the offseason to be ready to be in the driver's seat?
Yeah, I mean, I have tremendous confidence in where Kadeem is as a player. And, he played almost 22 minutes a game last year at the point guard spot. So now it's just a matter of him starting in that spot instead of moving to that spot. He's worked hard, watched a lot of film. We've done a lot of live game situations during the summer, reads and reacting. He'll have some growth spurts at the amount of time he's going to play there. I think the biggest difference for us with him is now he's guarding the point guard position where he didn't guard it before.
Right. This conference as a whole, I looked at the preseason poll last week. In a conference where the Butler Bulldogs are picked to finish 8th, how much does that show the depth of the league?
Well, I think if you look at the votes that were tallied, you really had 1, 2, and 3, and then, in my opinion, I think 2 through 8, you could really you could close your eyes and put anybody anywhere. The league is so balanced; it's so well coached. We have a lot of great seniors. You look at Xavier's got Trayvon Blewett. Us, you look at Providence with Rodney Bullock, Kyron Cartwright. I think the league is just, again, you look at Creighton with Marcus Foster. Kyrie Thomas. I mean, you can. Every team is just, you have 3 or 4 guys. I love Marquette's youth and their depth. I think they're going to be challenging. I think St. John's is a team that could finish anywhere in the conference. I mean, I think their guard play with Lovett and Pons is phenomenal. So I don't think, obviously when the coaches go through it and you pick, and if you just look at how all the votes were so stacked, I just think it shows how great this conference is.
I've heard you in practice say before to your team, if you play like this, you're going to lose in the Big East. Why do you say that?
Well, because if we play like that, we're going to lose in the Big East. Yeah, I mean, if you play bad, you're going to lose. I mean, you have to be sharp in this league. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready. Again, it's just, I think we're really lucky with the coaches we have in. You look at Jay Wright, Ed Cooley, Chris Mack, Greg McDermott. I love the way Wojo, I think Chris Mullen's been phenomenal. Then you look at the new coaches that we've gotten. Dave Lato's as good a coach as there is in the country. Top to bottom, I think that the league is so well coached that you have to be prepared every day.
If this group is going to not just get to the NCAA tournament, but make a run, what has to happen?
I think they have to be extremely focused. They can't get distracted with awards or outside distractions, where I want to go, how many points do I have to have. I think they need to keep their focus on winning. If they can do that, when they're focused, they're an extremely tough group.